Give me just one day.
Fluent and chill, where the takes stay real. Chill town, hoop sports, fluent with the feel. Break down sharp like a highlight reel. Welcome to the show, we stay fluent and chill.
With this in my ear talking, I thought it was interesting. You and I on on the trade deadline. You and I did a show for Bleacher Report to kick off the NBA trade deadline super show that they did on Bleacher.
We did do that.
And just what I did right now, where we were going live on TikTok and I was talking to the TikTok people as the intro to our show was playing for YouTube, Chilltown Hoops Sports on YouTube. As those two things were happening simultaneously, I had a flashback to when we did that Bleacher Report thing, and you and I were talking, and we're talking about this trade or that player, and in my ear is someone saying, hey, this is what's happening next. Talk about this player next. And I'm like, shut up, I'm talking. I can get used to it. Don't get me wrong. You pay me, I'll get used to it. But it was just like, it was. Did you find it? I don't know if you heard them in your ear. I felt like it was only when
they were in my ear too. Yeah, they were in my ear too. But I just felt like it was so much more. I just felt like it was us though. Even though they was in our ear, it was still us. And you know, me, you and I. Just so you guys know, at home, like there was a little bit of trepidation. My man Tone wasn't really sure. You know, should I host him? I was like, whoa, Tone, this is Fluent and Chill. We just on Bleacher Report. That's it. We still gonna do us. Ain't gonna be nothing different. Nope. We still do what we do. We just doing it somewhere else. We're not switching up anything. And it went good. It went really good. No doubt.
All right. So that being said, as you know, I like to start off every Tuesday Fluent and Chill with a Fluent rant. And yeah, I'm gonna be rude when I say, you know who these old hags are, yeah?
Yes, that's the Spice Girls.
Okay, excellent. And what was their big thing? Their the one-hit wonders of the 90s. What were two? I think it was the 90s. What was their one thing that they held above all else?
What did they hold above all else?
Girl power. Would you agree?
I do remember girl power.
Girl
yes.
power. Okay, excellent. So let me tell you a story. Not about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer who barely kept his family fed. No. I'm going to tell you a story about a mom, a single mom, struggling to make ends meet. Her 13-year-old daughter says, I need to find a way to help mom. I don't know what, but I need to do something.
Yep. And
they enjoyed tacos. And she says, yeah, but the taco seasonings we buy at the store stink. As a 13-year-old, she decides, I'm going to create my own taco seasoning.
What? And
she creates her own brand. That little brand that she created and invented and packaged and got this name that I'll share with you in a second and trademarked the name in Canada, took it to farmers markets and sold it one package at a time until it got picked up by two major grocery stores here in Canada, Longo's and Farm Boy, which Farm Boy is kind of like, what's the one? Like Whole Foods.
Okay.
That's kind of the equivalent. And Longo's, like Publix. It's not small, like, like these are
not mom and pop spots. These are big spots, these big deals.
Yes. So she started doing that. And all from a 13-year-old kid, builds up the brand. And then here's the brand. Here she is right there. She's a few years older. And you'll see she has the name Spice Girls. But the Spice is spelt with a Y and the Girls is spelt with a Z. You're not going to get this confused for that group.
No.
Would you agree? Would you confuse these two things?
No. Spice Girls. Spice with a Y and Girls with a Z. That's not the Spice Girls. No.
So the Spice Girls sent in a lawyer to give her a cease and desist that she's infringing on their trademark name and people could confuse her spices with their
brand.
Raggedy asses.
Interesting. Now, I think that your rant, Tone, on the one hand, holds some merit because it's a kid, right? I get that part. But on the other hand, they might not want to be associated with that.
I don't care because you know what? You know why she was able to get the name Spice Girls trademarked in Canada? with no issues, because if you know anything about international law, you can trademark Fluent and Chill in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else can come in Canada, in the UK, and Australia and trademark the exact same name. Because if you've only trademarked it in your home country, it doesn't mean SHIT in the rest of the world. I'll give you an example. You obviously have heard of autotrader.com, a marketplace for used cars in America.
That's correct.
Have you heard of autotrader.ca?
I have not heard of autotrader.ca.
Have you heard of autotrader.uk?
No, I haven't. I've just heard of autotrader.com.
Have you heard of autotrader.aus? That's Australia for those.
I have not. Just
Or
autotrader.com.
completely unconnected companies that do the exact same thing in 4 different countries, all trademarked under their own separate names.
Oh, that's interesting, Tone.
So the fact that this is spelt different, it is something completely different. It has nothing to do with music, and they wasted their time. These hags must be 60 years old by now, and that's what they're doing to this girl who's just trying to like help her family. I think is egregious. It's horrible. Not only should they not be suing her, they should be doing stuff to help her. They should make a commercial where they're going like something about, oh, you got to try these Spice Girls. Not us, silly. The Spices. Like they should do something like that instead of suing her. All for girl power. I don't know why I saw it and it really bothered me. And everyone's like, why does it bother you so much? I'm like, I don't know. There are just certain things. Parents walking with wet boots on a basketball court before a game.
That makes me nuts, Tone. I can't handle that. I can't handle that. No, that part right there, Tone, drives me absolutely nuts. That I can handle a lot of stuff. When you come in, it was raining outside, and you walking on the floor, not on the side of the floor.
Try snow.
No, man. Tone, that drives me nuts.
Snow.
I can't handle that right there. It's a difference between walking on the side of on the sideline as opposed to walking across the court with your wet boots on that you just came out
right in the middle,
right down the middle of the floor. So when I crack my head open,
because
we don't have somebody that's sweeping the floor, that's actually Tone, that drives me nuts.
So I had the same reaction when I saw this. And I was like, we got to talk about it. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to post it. And I'm going to tag Scary and Stupid and Sporty and all, whatever their names are. They're all getting tagged. I don't care if it goes nowhere. I couldn't believe that they would do such a thing. And it probably bothered me more than it should, but it really bothered me.
Isn't one of the chicks married to Beckham? That's number one.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that lied and said, oh, my father, we grew up with humble beginnings. And he was like, didn't your dad drive you? Beckham says, didn't your dad drive you to school in like a Bentley or a Rolls every day? And she's like, oh, yes, but it wasn't a fully loaded Rolls Royce. Like,
shut up. What was it? Was it stock? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Everything
wasn't tricked out. That's what you're trying to tell us. Give me a break, yo.
Idiots. Oh, man. All right. That being said,
that
was my rant. It's over. Go get Spice Girls seasoning if you're in Canada. That really bothered me. The next thing that bothered me.
Interesting.
This is making. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Listen, our first 2 topics is going to be about the Lakers. I apologize for you people who don't like the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone said, oh, these guys just, in the heat of the moment and, they get into it, and that's just being competitive. Is there a problem in La La Land?
It might be, Tone. And don't get me wrong. Everybody thinks that, coaches and players, even when they're winning, that everything is just peaches and cream. It's not. No. The late, great Kobe Bryant said something that I will never forget. He said that you have to be able to have those uncomfortable conversations because you're going to run into a team that has a leader that's not afraid to have that conversation, and you're going to lose. So on that one end, he's right. Absolutely. We have to be able to talk about things that aren't good. So it's not going to be kumbaya around here. I'm going to get on your ass about you not playing defense. You're going to get on my ass about shots. That's going to happen. But at some point, we have to come to a commonality about how much we respect each other. Are we trying to get to the same place? Do we have the same goals? Are we trying to get there as a unit, as opposed to you trying to get there one way and me trying to get there another way? Because more times than not, that's not going to work. But I don't think that's the case here, Tom. JJ Redick is a very brash, even though I know how you feel about him. But JJ Redick is
well, let me interrupt and say, because you know how I feel about him was I thought his ego wouldn't have led him to be a good coach. Then he had a good regular season last year, and I was like, hey, you know what? He's been able to keep it in check. I'm actually impressed. He's doing a good job. Then the playoffs came, and his ego took over again. And I was like, what an idiot. And then I'm like, okay, he's turning it around. Maybe he learned it was his first year, rookie season. If this is true that he's alienating his future of the franchise, because let's be clear, LeBron's done.
Yep. I think the Lakers are out of the LeBron James business after
this is his last season.
I think they finished with him.
Which means if you alienate Luka, keep going, because you're probably say what I think you're going to say.
Well, let's be clear about this, Tone. I think that we have to be able to come to some sort of commonality, and it has to be in a respectful way. Now, with both Luka and JJ, I don't think that there's a disrespect, but I think that JJ being who he is and being as brass as he is and being as polarizing as he is, he's the coach that'll say what other coaches won't say because he used to be a player, so he knows how this goes. Tone, I'll be honest with you. I think he's sick of Luka. I do. I think he's sick of him.
I think Luka's sick of him.
And you know what that means?
Respectfully, JJ has the swagger of a superstar former player, and he's not.
He is not a superstar player. No, he was a long ball shooter. He was a specialist in the end. That's who he was. He's a long ball shooter and he's a specialist in the end. I think Luka is sick of him.
Put it this way. In the series that he talked about, the Magic beat the Cavs. Where the Magic beat the Cavs, he played 2 minutes in the series.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, there's nothing you could do against us. We had blah, 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 blah. And he lied, by the way. I just watched it. There's nothing you could do against Jameer Nelson because he could
didn't play in the series
ignite the offense off the dribble. He didn't play, bro.
Yeah, he already played. But
he didn't play at all. Not 1 second.
I think the problem that we're having here with JJ is still in modern JJ. I mean, JJ isn't in modern JJ. JJ is in 2009 player mode JJ. He still thinks the NBA is 2010, 2011, 2012, and that's not the way you get to players today. Right? I think it's
worse. I think he's in ESPN analyst where you just rip the players to shred and there's no consequences mode.
No, that's not the way that works, yo. You can't talk to these guys like that.
You can't do that anymore.
I mean, if I'm making $45-50 million, Tone, like, how can you really talk to me? Like, because I can tell you how you can't talk to me. You can't talk to me any old way because I'm going to tune you right out. But I say that to say JJ Redick is an old school player who played years ago, but coaching in the modern game like he was raised, when in reality, that's not the way that works. And I think he does have a rapport.
He coaches an era. He coaches in a way of an era that he shits on. That's the whole circular crazy thing about it. He's got the ego of a superstar in the game of a role player.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got the old school sucks. Look at the new school stuff, but he coaches and treats his players like he's old school. He's all over the place.
Which doesn't really make much sense because in fact, this era is an era that he would have thrived in considering he was a long ball shooter.
Yeah.
Like sure. he would have actually gotten busy in this era, considering like how important the long ball is. But with that being said, I think that with a guy like JJ, there's a certain level of demand that you have to have playing for him. Like you have to demand for yourself. Now, Tone, we know for a fact that I don't care how long you as a player or you as a coach have been there. If it's between you and the player, especially if the player is a young player, you're going to be out as a coach. You're 100% going to be gone. So
listen. When Giannis and Dame got together and had an old school defensive minded coach who held them accountable and they were winning games, they got rid of him that quick.
AJ Griffin.
You don't think Luka has the power?
Adrian Griffin.
Get rid of him that quick?
Yes.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I get the frustration. Like, dude, puts more effort in defense. I 100%.
I don't think it's just the defense though, Tone. See, I think that's where the divide is because
I think that's
it may start there, but I think it's so many things when it comes to him. I think that having a bird's eye view of Luka as opposed to when he was in Dallas. We just got to see him on game day. We just got to see him playing within that system where they was building it around him. JJ gets to see him every day. JJ gets to see the effort that he puts in on defense. They see the shot selection. He sees what he's working on. And he looks at Luka like Luka could probably be so much better than what he actually is. Only to find out that even though I'm still leading the league in scoring, I could get so much more out of this guy if I got more work and less of the other stuff. And I think that's where the divide is, because Luka is like, man, what's your problem? I lead the league in scoring. What are you talking about? I do play. I do give you some effort on defense. And JJ's like, no, you don't. And I'm sick of it. And I'm going to lose my job. That's going to ultimately happen. I'm going to get fired. But I can tell you what I'm not going to do.
JJ complaining about someone's defense, though, is hilarious.
Well, not everybody that played in the NBA, Tone, could play defense. But that doesn't mean as a coach that I can't demand that you play defense. Let's be clear about that.
It's just a little hypocritical to say, JJ, like, hey,
I just want. Well, now wait a minute, Tone. I wasn't good.
I play defense.
Well, and I don't think that's what's going on. But I think the difference is that I wasn't good at defense, but that doesn't mean as a coach that I can't demand that you be a defender. Doc Rivers wasn't a great scorer, but I can still demand that you be a bucket getter. I mean, Ty Lue wasn't a great point guard, but I can get that out of you. Being a great distributor.
I can see JJ kind of implying that he made in some effort.
And to be honest with you, I think that that's fair, because I think JJ did give some effort. Like Luka, on the other hand, Luka doesn't give as much effort as he should. And I think that Laker fans, you in particular, are seeing what Luka has turned into as a Laker, and it's getting, for lack of a better term, Tone, it's getting corny. It's getting kind of corny with this guy.
Listen, I agree with him complaining a lot. I don't love that. But I also don't pay him for defense, which is the problem with the Lakers front office down to the third, to the 12th man, is that this team isn't built around Luka leading them to a championship. It's a mismatch. It's a hodgepodge, right? It's literally guys who I wish were the player that they were complaining about.
Make me Clint Capella. I'm not no Clint Capella.
We wish you were Clint Capella. You wish you were Clint Capella, because you're not that good. Clint Capella's better than you.
Oh man, I think it's such a farce about who DeAndre Ayton is. I was wrong about him. I'm not gonna argue.
Thank you, because I told you even when it happened.
I was wrong about him. I really thought that.
I also say not only you were wrong, I was.
Yeah. Right. You were correct. You 100% correct. I thought that contract year I thought was going to be really good for your Lakers. I did. I thought that I was going to get a guy who played harder, better touch around the rim. Him playing with Luka, that pick and dive game was going to be fantastic. I thought that he was going to be a glass cleaner, playing with James, running the floor. I was looking at an 18 to 20 a game guy and a 9 to 11 a game rebounder. Instead, I'm getting like 14 and 7. That's not going to get it done.
And you're lucky to get that.
That's not going to get it done. Nope. And it's interesting that 14 and 7 from DeAndre Ayton on the Lakers is just garbage, only except like it would be suffice somewhere else, but with the Lakers it's garbage. But final point, Tone, I think that they've grown tired of each other. I do. I think that they've grown tired of each other. I think that this is something that I don't think it's going to come to a head, but I do think that I think it will. I do think that this thing has to get figured out soon enough. Otherwise, somebody's got to go.
I think Luka might be the only starter that remains on this team next year.
We can see this roster get empty, Tone. Like literally
completely overhauled. Listen, they're gonna have to keep some guys.
Sure.
That just but I mean of the let's see who starts. LeBron, does Reeves, Luka, Ayton, right? And then one of whoever. Obviously, there's injuries. There's always rotating the fifth guy, but I think you're gonna see Luka and a completely. It's gonna look. Coaching staff's gonna be different. Front office is going to. Rob Pelinka does not make it to draft day. Let's be very, very, very clear.
So he's getting fired. at the end of the regular season. He's out.
Look what the owners did when they took over the Dodgers. Cleaned house top to bottom.
Everybody's out.
created a whole new executive team, new scouts, new da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to see because it worked. It worked, right? The reason the Lakers have one of the worst scouting departments in the league. And why is that? I tell you why, because it's the only business that the Buses were in. When you have a player that has a higher net worth than the owner of the team, that's problematic. So you have to cut corners somewhere, and that's where they did. So I think you're going to see there's a lot of money coming in, which is good.
But wait, though, Tone. I mean, why am I cutting corners? I mean, I can get anybody. I could get a scout on a cheap. There's plenty of guys, especially with the Lakers.
You get what you pay for.
You do get what you pay for. But when we're talking about the Lakers,
I think they were more like. Here's the thing, though. If you're the Lakers, you want to be known as the franchise, the Lakers, that has the lowest paid scout, because it's going to get out, or just no scout at all.
I mean, they did the same thing with the Chicago Bulls, Tone. They didn't have a shooting coach, and
they
didn't have. And this is the same franchise that was. This is the same franchise that was the franchise of the '90s, the entire decade. I mean, they were the franchise up until 1998. Everybody knew who the Chicago Bulls was from 1990 to 1988. And come to find out, they don't have a shooting coach. And I didn't really think that was a big deal. I say that to say with the Lakers, I think that there's a lot of guys who would enjoy being a scout for the Lakers, even if it was on the cheap. Yeah, it was on the cheap, and you probably can get somebody that's really good. Now, remember, what we call cheap is probably something a lot different. Like he probably get paid more than the scout from Charlotte. He probably get paid more than the scout. I do think that, Tone. I do think that he get paid more than a scout from Charlotte. I do think that he get paid more than a scout from Washington. I do think that he get paid more than those guys. I don't think that that's high on the priority list for the Lakers.
Right. That's the thing. And it will be now. So this is a good segue because Spanish Jose says they have Bob Costas, Doug Collins, and Mike Fratello calling the Sixers Spurs game tonight. Super throwback.
That's dope.
So speaking of super throwbacks, it was 64 years ago yesterday.
64 years.
64 years ago yesterday that the biggest fraudulent conspiracy in basketball history occurred.
Which is?
The fake 100-point game, which we've already proven and established. There's more things that are lies than truths and proof.
You got to poke some holes in it, Tone, but you still haven't given us anything definitive to suggest.
I don't want to talk about that because I've already proved that was fake. But I do want to talk about my next conspiracy. You're going to like this one.
I'm listening.
So you've seen the NBA logo.
I have, Mr. the great Jerry West.
Is it though?
Yes.
So here's Jerry West. He doesn't quite have that same curve as the NBA logo.
That's because, oh boy, okay. All right.
Okay. When I look at, and I just brought it down so you can kind of see the difference. When I look at his head, the shape is very different. The top of the head, the ears, they don't really match up. So what I propose to you and the viewing audience. What year, do you recall approximately what year did the logo kind of come into the NBA?
Jerry West showed up. Oh, you're talking about the NBA logo?
Yeah, the NBA logo.
That I don't know, Tone. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I do know because I don't know when the NBA logo came into the NBA. It was sometime in the 60s. I do know that.
Here, let's find out. NBA logo. What would I call it? NBA logo.
NBA logo induction. Like introduced. NBA logo introduced. Let's see here. Okay. What does this look like?
Because we want to be accurate. So it came in 1971. It first appeared officially in 1971.
Okay.
It was designed by Alan Siegel in 1969.
So Jerry West had been in the league for 11 years at that point.
Okay. Excellent. So here is my okay, so in that time, let me set it up a little bit better. In that time, how would you kind of say race relations were in the United States?
They weren't good for black people, I can tell you that.
So it's interesting that another Laker
Mm-hmm.
happens to have the exact same curvature as the NBA logo.
Well,
Jerry West did not. Elgin Baylor did, but wait, there's more. And I zoomed it out a little so you can actually see the white trace around him. Same exact top of the head and ear shape, exactly the same. I contest that the logo is actually Elgin Baylor, the creator of the so-called Euro step that should be called the Baylor step, but that's a story for another day. It was Elgin Baylor, but because of racism or race in America at the time, they said, oh, it was crafted after Jerry West. Because everything matches up significantly better to Elgin Baylor than any other player. And I did this with about 15 different players to see. And this was the best match ever.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Tone, because I remember I actually saw somebody do something with the logo, and they showed the exact picture that they got of Jerry West as the logo. I want to say
I did that one too. It takes manipulation to do it.
Yeah,
that was just boom Baylor, no manipulation.
No, but see, that's the thing. It's not boom Baylor, no manipulation, because the ball is a lot with Baylor. The ball is a lot closer. I mean, ball is a lot further out. With Jerry West, the ball is a lot closer. In addition to the ball being a lot closer, his legs.
I don't listen. The ball in the hand, the arm. That's easy. They just brought it in to make it a rectangle. Look at the body curve and the head shape. The head shape.
But the difference with the head shape, though, is you can see the ears, and I'm looking at the ears.
Fit perfectly.
And they fit perfectly with Jerry West because it's Jerry West.
No, they don't. They fit perfectly with Elgin Baylor. They don't fit with Jerry West.
I mean, in fact, not only Tone, the guy who actually did it said it was Jerry West.
Because he was a racist.
No, that wasn't because he was a racist.
It was 1970.
And he showed us the picture of, if I'm not mistaken, Tone.
Let me ask you a question. If he said it was Elgin Baylor, would the general population have been okay with it?
They probably would not have been okay with it.
Oh, he lied.
Whoa. So your theory is it's really Elgin Baylor, right? It's really Elgin Baylor at this point. Even though in 1971, I mean, Jerry West, who had been the Finals MVP, who had been everything that he'd already been at that point, been the face of the NBA, a white guy at that point, because there weren't a lot of black guys in the NBA in the late 60s, early 70s.
TikTok, I'm sorry, I can't show pictures on here. You have to here.
That wasn't going on. With that also being said, though, Tone, if the guy who did it, he showed us the actual picture. I think it was, and you can fact check me on this, chat. I think it was against the Washington Bullets at that point. I think it was against the Washington Bullets. The picture that he showed and how he drew it, he ended up getting Jerry West's arm a little bit closer and the ball a little bit closer. That's how he made the logo.
Yeah. He had to do it for the rectangle. If I made for the people on TikTok to see the pictures, you either had to come to the YouTube, Sportsfluent YouTube, or Chilltown YouTube, or not now. After you smash the like button 1,000 times, you can go to my TikTok account and I've posted the video.
Yep,
posted the video.
With that being said, though, Tone, I mean, why would I? For him to be a racist, then
listen, I'm not saying. Listen,
because when we talk about theories, we're talking about theories.
Extra, but my thing is let me roll it back to reality now. Is that when I look at the pictures of Jerry West and I look at the pictures of Elgin Baylor and I don't manipulate anything, I just slide their bodies in and their heads. Elgin Baylor, if Jerry West is a 90% match, Elgin Baylor is a 98% match without having to manipulate or change anything of the body or head.
So we could do that with a bunch of different guys in the league.
No, I did. I took 15 and none of them were close. And so my thing is, it was easier for him to say it's Jerry West versus it was Elgin Baylor.
Interesting. Why is it Elgin Baylor? Why is it not Oscar Robertson? Why is it not Bill Russell, who was basically the class?
Maybe he had a thing. Maybe he had a thing for the Lakers. Maybe he had good taste in teams.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then why wasn't? If let's see, who else was on the Lakers? Why wasn't it Gail Goodrich?
Who knows why it wasn't? But that's who it matches. Forget who it was or wasn't. You can't deny that there's literally. You see, Elgin Baylor has that little part
No.
There's
Jerry West had a part too. Jerry West had a part in his head too.
Not as pertinent.
Yes, he did.
But it didn't
Yes, he did, Tone. That's just not true.
It didn't fit as perfect. Look,
he actually showed us the picture of when he cut
showing
it.
you the picture. Look.
And okay, so look at the head. That's not the same.
Small. I made it small because I made it smaller.
Even if you did. Now take
when I make it the right size and slide it over, it's perfect. It's
right
perfect.
Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to take Jerry West. Not that picture. Not that picture that you had. No, not that picture
that I was told that they used.
I think that they could get a bunch of different pictures of a bunch of different guys and slide them in a 6'5" guy with that same body type, like Jerry West. No, not that one. That's not the one at all. There's a number of different pictures that I saw of Jerry West. There's the one when they were playing. There's the one when they were playing against Washington, against the Bullets that I saw. That made sense.
Even the body curvature. Look at that versus. Hold on, just versus. Look how natural. I don't know why you hate Elgin Baylor. Look how natural it is with Elgin Baylor. You don't even have to manipulate it.
You don't have to manipulate it. Well, okay. So,
Joe, you can't tell me that you can't
move Elgin Baylor out the way. Let me see the logo again, Tone.
Just the
logo. Just the logo.
Yep. Hold on. Hold up. It's live. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Put some pimping in it. Yes, Laura. Let's do that. Because I'm not buying this. That doesn't look anything like Elgin Baylor. Nothing.
But once it does look.
And then I can put a picture of Jerry West in there too. I mean, I can appreciate your conspiracy.
Look. Here, watch the clicks. Just watch it. I'll go through rapid fire. Look.
Maybe you know what, Tom? Maybe it was Elgin Baylor. Maybe. And just for you guys at home,
maybe it's a combination of both.
Maybe Elgin Baylor is really the NBA logo. It's not Jerry West. It's Elgin Baylor.
I love it.
Maybe that
I love it. I love it.
That is I don't believe a word of this, just so you guys know. I don't. But I'm just doing this to appease Tone because I don't believe a word of this.
Elgin,
but to be honest with you, I would love
disrespected in the history books. It's crazy.
I would love for it to be Elgin Baylor. That would be super dope if it was Elgin Baylor. I just don't think it is.
You know, I want to say Elgin Baylor, not only a wonderful basketball player, like phenomenal basketball player that no one gives enough credit to, but also he must have been a phenomenal human being and father, because when he passed and I was doing the show, the Coach and AK Experience with Coach Hugh Jackson, we reached out to his daughter because Hugh, obviously Coach Hugh is in that circle of people to, send our condolences. She was so polite and lovely with her time and to speak with us, and like, just you can tell like when I talk to like Jarrett Payton, Walter Payton's son, I know for all the bad things people will find out and say about Walter Payton, like those kids are very good, respectful kids, his son and daughter. Like you can just tell the people who are good people who raise their children right. I'll tell you nothing. LeBron James. Say what you want about him on the court. That's a good dad. That's a great dad.
I was thinking about this a couple of days ago when we were talking about dads, and I was thinking to myself, when I was 14 years old, I'm trying to imagine Michael Jordan getting in the warm-up line with us. I would have flipped out. I promise you. If Jay would have jumped in the warm-up line with us, I would have flipped out. Yo, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it at 14 years old. But with that being said, since we're on the subject of Elgin Baylor, so Tone, in 1995, 1996, my buddy, who we had on Fluent and Chill, Terry Dare, was playing for the Clippers. Elgin Baylor was the general manager of the Clippers. They were playing against the Jazz. I'm waiting for him backstage after the game. Elgin Baylor is there. I politely go up to Elgin Baylor, and I say to Elgin Baylor, I said, Elgin, there's a guy that plays up at Utah State. His name is Womack. He's actually a really good player. And he said, I heard about him, but I'm not sure if he's big enough. And I don't love his ball handling. That's what he said about me.
To you?
To my face.
Wow.
He said that to my face, Tom. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Why have you never, how I love Elgin Baylor. How you never told me this before?
The reason why I never say nothing about it, because I didn't think you would believe me. But yes. And Elgin Baylor's a bit of 6'5". Yes, he is.
I 100. Oh, why would I not? Yes, why would you tell the story?
A bit of 6'5". Yep.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir. We standing backstage, and I didn't think that he knew me. So I just went up there like almost. I had the serious face, but I was joking.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
was like, just to see if him. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I heard
sure.
about. He's like, I heard about him. I heard about him. He about 6'4", real good athlete. I don't know if he handles it good enough for me though. And I was like,
How did that motivate you to work on your handles?
yes.
Did it kill you to be like, I'm quitting this sport?
No.
Did you appreciate the honest feet? Like,
Well, first of all, I didn't even know he knew me. That's number one.
yeah,
That's number one.
that alone, I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's number one. And number two, I was like, I got to get my handle correct. Okay, my handle got to get correct.
that was gonna be my next question. Did you agree with his assessment? In retrospect,
Yes.
maybe even now looking back.
I mean, I think about what those guys were up there on that level, and I thought that I would probably be more of a combo guard than a straight two guard, and I would have to handle the ball more. So yeah, I knew I had to get my handle correct, which I did. I actually became a better ball handler. I just never really got the opportunity to play at that level. But I thought that was cool that Elgin Baylor would say that.
Yes, that's
and then he acknowledged that it was me, and he didn't say it to him. He did this.
he knew it was you.
I was like, wow.
Damn. I love that. I'm such an Elgin Baylor stan. So like that's I love that.
I don't understand why you guys don't know. Like, just so y'all know, Elgin Baylor averaged more rebounds than Shaq for his career. And he played in the same era with Chamberlain and Willis Reed. He averaged more rebounds in his career than Shaq with the Lakers. And he played for nobody else. I just want to put that on your mind.
Darko, what's good, y'all? What up? Quick question. Which of the top prospects do y'all think would best fit the Pacers and their freelance fast-paced system?
That's interesting you mention that. And the reason why it's interesting you mention that, because the same reason why, and I actually talked about this earlier with the Jazz, if the Jazz end up with a top 2 or top 3 pick, I'm moving up in the draft because Darren Peterson is my guy.
Oh.
Darren Peterson. However, I love this kid in Indiana. Him and Darren Peterson.
AJ
in Indiana. I love this kid in Indiana. I don't like him. I love him in Indiana.
Love him in Indiana.
Love him in
His
Indiana.
mother told him to stay in school until he graduates.
Yeah. And mom, so we clear. Just mom, so we clear. BYU was there 100 years before your boy showed up. It's going to be there 100 years after he's gone, which means that he can definitely go back to school and get that paper. He could definitely do that. But I can only be a ball player for a certain amount of time. And I think that this time that we're in, like, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
I agree with you 100%. I think he needs to come out and get drafted and play in the NBA. But listen, there's been Kobe, Shaq, Mike, Jordan, like all of these guys have come into the NBA and continued their schooling and graduated. Like it happens all the time. It's not even a rarity anymore. So I agree with this mom 1,000%. In fact, they're allowed to come on early. So I'm saying he should come out, even though I'm a proponent of, to make it into the NBA, you need to have a degree.
You've been saying that to me for countless years. That I was on the 3-year. I was on the 3-year train. Like, if
I don't care what, there's an associate's degree that you can get in 2 years. I think, and there should be mandatory courses, financial planning, those types of things that, look, if you're going to be a doctor who doesn't make nearly as much money, a lawyer who doesn't make nearly as much money, a vet, a teacher has to go through certain schooling, like a plumber, an electrician, everybody has to go through some type of educational post high school, even if it's an apprenticeship, something to get their positions. When 73% of pro athletes are broke 3 years after they retire,
3 years,
to make a mandatory degree, like I say, an associate's with this, which is 2 years, with a certain 1, 2, 3, whatever of financial literacy courses mandatory. I don't think that's a bad thing. The numbers suggest that's a mandatory thing.
Well, I think it's a good thing off the strength that I'm being able to set myself up in the future so I don't have to worry about money. Like, if I'm not going to turn into Odell Beckham and I'm going to be up here like, yo, I made $100 million and that wasn't enough. When, just so you know, you don't have to give your family all your money. You don't have to do that. There are people that you can say no to. There are budgets that you have to have. Like he said, $100 million. Well, the government's going to take 45%. So that's really 55 million. So why do I need a 10,000 square foot house? Why? Do you need that? I don't know if that. Why do you have to drive a $200,000 car?
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
necessary?
It's not that you have a $200,000 cars. You have 10 of them.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, why? What are you doing that for?
14 people on your payroll, and there's a great episode. There's a great episode of Ballers that Stephen A. Smith guest stars on, and he's talking, and he's like, "What does that guy do?" He goes, "I don't know." "What does that guy do?" "I don't know." He goes, "You got how many people you have in your entourage?" He goes, "6." He goes, "11." He goes, "You're a role player. You're a grinder." He goes, "You're not Ant. You're not KD. You're not LeBron. You can't afford an entourage."
I remember that
because that's what happens. And listen. I understand the money comes in and it starts to flow and you think it's going to be this check every single month and you want to help all your peeps. But guess what happens? 99% of them, when the money's gone, so are they.
Mm-hmm. They're gone too. Absolutely. Now I understand AJ DeBonsta's his willingness, because remember, Tone, the same thing happened with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, he really wasn't sure if he wanted to come out. In fact, originally that was the deal. I was going to go to Syracuse for 1 year and then I was gone, only to find out, you know what, this place ain't really that bad. I actually like it here.
Oh, and when you get a national title in your first year.
You know what? I kind of like it here. And I think I want to stay in college, only except his coach was like, no, there's no reason for you to be in school anymore. And I feel like that with DeBonsta. I feel like he's wasting his time. There's guys who I feel like waste their time in school. And I feel like DeBonsta is one of those guys who I don't think that he needs school. I think that he's one of those guys that, like, we can bypass this. Back to your point about the job requirement. I feel like you should be able to come right out of high school. But if you go to college, then you got to stay. You have to stay.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We're going to do some quick fire.
Yep.
Because we want to send, actually, I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Yep.
We're going to do quick fire. Then we're going to say goodbye to TikTok right after the quick fire. And then we're going to say hello to our guests in the chat.
Yep.
So let me pull those up first. Let's start with, I like this one because this is, this one's good. Do you know the rule of the 40-20 by Phil Jackson?
40 of the last 44 NBA championships have done just that.
So
I don't know the
rule.
You
don't? Okay, so no. Phil Jackson coined this 40-20 rule. And he says, to be a true contender to win an NBA championship, you have to reach 40 wins before you reach 20 losses.
Okay.
40 of the last 44 NBA championships have had 40 wins before they had 20 losses.
Wow.
The only 3 teams currently in the NBA that qualify for that are OKC, Detroit, and somebody else. And the Spurs, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
the Spurs, yes. Fact, fiction, just a coincidence?
No, it's not. And the Boston Celtics literally they're at 41 wins and 20 losses right now. The Boston Celtics are. So to your point, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and the Detroit Pistons. 47 wins, 43 wins, 45 wins, 14 losses, 15 losses, 17 losses. And to be honest with you, I do remember, I don't remember this specific 40-20 rule, but I actually like the idea because what it does, Tone, it sounds to me like what he's doing is he's breaking up the season. Like we'll lose a game, then we'll run off another 5 or 6 games. Then we'll lose, then we'll run off another 5, 6, 7 games again. Then we'll lose and go on another 5-game win streak. So if we're doing that, you figure if we go on a 5-game win streak, for every 5 games we win, we lose 1. Well, yeah, Tone. I mean, that's winning 80% of our games. Yep, yeah. That's winning 80% of our games. And I think that we develop a lather and we get into a rhythm and we start rolling at that point, which I'm really feeling that. I do. I actually do feel that. I'm just trying to make sense of where that rule came from, because I vividly remember when the Bulls in '96 if I'm not mistaken, it was 96. We were at the All-Star break, Tony. It was something goofy, like 41-7, some shit like that. it was ridiculous. They were like 41-7 or 41-10, something like that. And they were just clearly out in front of everybody. Like it wasn't even close.
Quickly, we do have a super chat that I need some clarity on because I don't understand. G cuts that Fluent. Are you basing this off demeanor? ? Equals Hornets.
Are we basing?
Do you know what that? Can you remember what that's?
Yeah, we were talking about fit for teams and what it looks like.
Oh, okay. And I said Debensa on
Mm-hmm.
to the I think the free flow. I think the Pacers are kind of a fit for anybody because it's a free flowing, fast paced offense. So that's
And
so,
I'm not one of these people, right? I'm not
staying in school and longer, needing a degree. Oh, okay, that's what he means. Okay, so let me re-answer that then. Staying in school longer and needing a degree. I think it works for two reasons. And I wasn't talking about just AJ. I'm talking about every player. And I think it's one, you need to mature because you're hitting 17, 18 years old, right? Like your body hasn't even fully grown and matured yet. So I think you need those 2 years to understand, like I said, financial literacy, to grow up a little bit, to go through you're going to go through some trials and tribulations, right? In those first couple of years. And I think that, and I'm hoping you get some additional kind of fundamentals. And look, women's college basketball is more entertaining to watch, okay, than the men's side because there's no one and dones. All of them play, I believe, the mandatory 3 or 4 years. I'm not sure. And what it does is it teaches them how to play the game of basketball, but also it creates rivalries in college that then get brought into the W. That's a good thing to allow them to play, or they're forcing them to. But I think that's.
You mean like when we were kids, Tony? We got to see these guys grow up and then like think about what they were going to be in the NBA,
college, and then it's a good let's look. I know this is old school thinking, but Magic and Bird build up a rivalry in college.
Mm-hmm.
It then comes in and literally saves the NBA from bankruptcy.
It does. That's a fact.
That's a beautiful thing. Say what you want about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. They build up a rivalry in university. It comes to the W, and now there's issues, but it's instantly the biggest story in the W, and people are watching and arguing and debating. People who never watched 1 second of women's basketball. That's a good thing for the sport. And it's also good for the kids because they get to learn and grow and build. And like there isn't this pressure to just go play professional sports. I'm sorry, I got to be quick because we have I think today's theme is trouble in paradise. Paolo, who I told you, by the way, another one that I'm going to be right about when I say no stars stay in Orlando. Other teams make adjustments at halftime. We don't make any. Coach Mosley says it's not about adjustments. It's about more effort.
Translation, what that sounds to me like translation, Tone. Do your job and let me do my job. How about that?
It sounds a lot like you ain't playing hard. That's why I ain't making. It's not. I don't need to adjust. You just need to work harder.
And the reason why I ain't working hard is because you're not adjusting. So it sounds like we're butting heads here. Do your job and I'll do my job. How about we do that? How about that? And Tone, be clear about this. I can't say this enough to you. If we have to choose between the star player and the coach, we already know who's going to go.
This one might be Ventura. I think he wants out of Orlando anyways. Speaking of trouble in paradise, Lakers are in trouble. Magic are in trouble. We need someone that is looking to pass the ball to his teammates. Is Gobert throwing shade at Ant?
Yes, he is. That's 100% who we talking about, right? Because Ant was the one who said that I trust myself more. I look to myself more than I do other guys. And he said that him and Coach Finch, they're at odds. Even though Coach Finch is right 80% of the time, I do trust myself. In order for me to trust you, in order for me to give you the basketball, I got to trust you. And I feel like maybe Ant hasn't developed that trust with those guys as much as he should, which would explain why I don't think they're going to win.
The MVP ladder continues to move and adjust and sway. Currently, this week, we've got Jokic at 1, SGA at 2, Cade at 3, Luka at 4, Victor Wembanyama at 5, Jalen Duren at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Duren at 6.
Yes, sir.
Maxey at 7, Durant at 8, Jaylen Brown at 9. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And Chet at 10. So after the top 5, we just throw anybody's name in there.
Well,
yes, go ahead.
No, you were going to say something, Tone, because
I said what I was going to say. After the 5th one, they just threw a bunch of names in there.
Well, to remember who this is. This is Basketball Reference. Basketball Reference is a very analytically driven website and a very analytically driven, source reference. And as you know, Tone, Basketball Reference and analytics love certain players and they hate certain players, right? So with that being said, analytically, there are some guys on this list that's why Jaylen Brown is where he is. I think the Celtics, when he's on the floor, they got a plus almost 5 net rating. When he's off the floor, they got almost a 14, something nuts like that. But see, that's what I'm talking about. See that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Are gonna kill this damn game.
That's what I mean, Tone. Like it's stuff like that right there, where you can't tell me, even though they got a plus 14 with him off the floor, you can't tell me this team is not. You can't tell me this team is better without him. That's just not true. That's not. I don't care how many numbers you're telling me about.
Better. They're not.
This team is not better without him. No, they're not.
All right. That brings So that brings us to the end of our TikTok segment.
Yes, sir.
So we say we're gonna bid TikTok adieu.
Yes, sir.
We've got, I think 3, 4, 5 people waiting. If you want to continue the conversation, come join the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many people are waiting in the backstage. Sports Fluent or Chilltown Hoops YouTube. Come watch the rest. We're gonna have some discussions. I don't know what everyone's talking about. So Joe, Neef, John, we're coming. We're coming. You guys, you 3 up next. All right.
Good to see you guys. You guys know where to find us at. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, we right here. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Amen. Call your mother. Call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We'll see you guys soon. But until then, TikTok, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight.
I feel like Tony Kornheiser. Goodbye, Canada.
What up?
What's good, guys? How you been?
What up?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I hope you guys are good too. Today was an interesting day. I was talking to my friends out NBA. Who's going to be your all-starting 5 of all time? And I said a humble list. I said Steph, Jordan, James, Duncan, Shaq. I don't think that's a terrible list. I think that's quite fair.
Say it one more time.
Steph, Jordan, James, Duncan, Shaq.
I don't hate that 5.
I think it's a. This guy turns around to me and goes, Steph at the 1. I go, yeah. And then he skips us to us. So I'm thinking that he's going to put Kobe or maybe something a bit more outlandish than Jordan. And he says James at 3. And I'm going, okay. And he says Giannis at 4. I went, I'm going to talk to you about that right now. And he went, no. And then he says, I came at the 5. I went, okay. I can get behind that. The 4, I'm questioning. He went, I don't think I'm going to hit him at 2. I went, why? Guys, he put Kyrie Irving at his 2. No. I have never known a basketball fan to ever put Kyrie
at the 1.
At the 2.
Yeah,
at the 2.
Over Jordan and Kobe.
My face exactly, Fluent. My face exactly. I was like, are we? Because he came out to my house and we watched NBA games together. He likes basketball. He knows basketball. And I went, are you sure you know? Are you sure you know what the 2 is? And he went, yeah, shooting guard. And that's Kyrie Irving. I went, but he doesn't. But he's not really a 2. He's more of a 1. And if you're gonna really put him in the list, I mean, and even if we're gonna give him the 2, he's not above Kobe or Jordan. And so I went to him, why? Why then? Why? And this was his only answer, and that is it. Because he's got nice handles.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving is awesome. I think Kyrie Irving is more of a folklore, and I think he's awesome in theory to a lot of guys, as opposed to what he actually is.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, especially younger guys, like guys around your age, I mean, they look at Kyrie Irving and they see the handle, they see how polarizing he is, and like we'll take that over, what Kobe actually was. We'll take that over what Jordan actually was, which is ridiculous.
Listen, as long it sounds like he's consistent though. He's like kind of talent over production.
Yeah,
which he's
Giannis
consistent.
a bit more.
Like it's not a bad it's not a bad lineup. It's just there's better ones out there. So
Yes, it is.
And look, people just can't look past their look. That's probably his favorite player.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
his handles are phenomenal. Like I sometimes think it's like if I was making like the perfect NBA player, right? It'd be like Steph shooting, and when we get to the handles, I'm like, there's guys. Don't get me wrong, I love like Rod Strickland and others, but I'm just like, I go with Kyrie's handles. Like that's the guy that I would pick. So I don't agree, but I agree with what he's saying. Yeah.
It just set me back, and it was then I was like, I'm going to talk to the guys about this tonight because they're going to be like, ain't no way you've just said that. But the other thing I want to talk about was. It's not to want me Celtics for once because I know I'm very biased when it comes to Celtics. I'm actually going to talk about the Timberwolves. I now I was talking about this the other day. I am very on the fence about these guys. I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards. I'm really glad about how Jamie McDaniels defends, even though he doesn't defend, I think as well as he did last season. I think he's still a great defender. I like Rudy Gobert as much as I pain to say it. He's a good candidate for DPOY. But he's
going to win it, actually, to be honest with you.
You think he's going to win it?
He's going to win it.
I don't hate that either.
Yep.
I think Dante's a good three-ball shooter and a good distributor, but there's something about, and of course, there's, a million ways to say about this guy, but I don't know what it is about these guys, and in terms of them getting out the West, I came down to it, I just went, it's a competition. That's all that stops these guys is the competition. It's Oklahoma, it's Denver. It's these types of teams who have the depth. I'm not the biggest fan of the Timberwolves bench. I think it could maybe do with a bit more improving. I don't know exactly how you do improve it.
I actually like their rotations, especially with adding DeSomo. Yeah, I like their
rotation.
DeSomo
was a great addition. 100%, I agree with that fully. But I don't know because I think Anthony Edwards gets 1 to 2 chips in his career, maybe more at a push, probably 1.
Do you know what moves hurt teams the most? It's the ones that people like. I know now, Jay, I know you've mentioned this one before, but it's the ones that kind of fly under the radar. I think the Nuggets, after winning a championship, losing Bruce Brown hurt them more than they realized.
It did.
I think the Timberwolves losing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think hurts them more than they realized. Now maybe they just didn't want to pay him, or there's a million reasons why
they couldn't afford him. Tone, that was
a million reasons why it happened. But it's those little things. And interesting, did you see? There's been this video clip rolling around where Ant says to Jalen Johnson, I believe, "I can't wait to get to Atlanta." Now I don't know if that just means he's Magic City for some wings, and other things and thighs, or if he's talking about getting to the Hawks. But it seems like if he's mentally already out, that's a huge problem too.
No, right? I think he's still home, Tone. I do think that he's still with Minnesota, but I think he's under contract for 2 more years with them. But
but mentally, he's already out.
Now so I'm still here, right? I'm still here with us, and I'm still trying to win.
You can't be one.
But you can't be two. You can't be in 2 places at the same time.
You know this. You can't be with one chick, and even if a little bit of your mind's on another one.
Gotta pick one.
You're not the same.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you, Joe. We appreciate you, brother.
You, man.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna say his name wrong because last time I said it wrong, so I'm not gonna say it.
Neff.
Oh,
what up?
What's up?
Last time you corrected Jay, and I'm like, I'm not saying it wrong.
What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, guys? Man, what's the topic for today?
We're talking about a bunch of
Giannis came back last night.
I'm still nervous about this thing now.
Chill, what you said?
I wish I could tell you, Neff, that I'm ecstatic about Giannis coming back. This calf thing really worries me, man. It does.
Me too.
And the reason why it's worrying me is because I'm watching Giannis when he's coming back. I don't think that I'm seeing the beginning or the end of Giannis, but I feel like that athleticism. I feel like this calf injury is affecting it. Yeah, it looks like we're going the other way. Like he doesn't have that blow by. He doesn't have that pop that he used to have. And I think that this calf injury is affecting that. And I think that it might be better now, but I think that mentally, I think he's definitely monitoring it. So he isn't going as hard as he would if he didn't have this injury.
I will 100% agree with you. I will 100% agree with you. I thought, well, my opinion was I thought he should have just took the whole year off. Like we're not doing anything this year. Obviously, it's very obvious to the league, and the East is contrary to popular belief, it's not bad. The East is not bad. Like Detroit is really good. Cavs are really good, especially after James Harden, even though he broke his finger. But Knicks are okay. So yeah, the East is
and even
bad.
some of the bottom teams, even like the easy wins that you thought you were going to get against Charlotte. Right?
Charlotte, exactly. Now Conker Nipple's like, oh no, I'm an actual player in this league. So it's like
no nights off in Charlotte anymore. No, they're not.
No,
you're not just walking into Charlotte, just checking out the
win. It's a win. Now it's like, no, now we got to play.
No, we got to actually get some sleep before we go into Charlotte. I got to get some rest going in there. So, I think that this roster is going to be completely different next season. I would really hope that they. I don't want Giannis to leave Milwaukee, but what I do want is I want him to be as healthy as possible. Because if I'm being honest with you, Neff, I think that I got maybe 3 more years of Giannis at this level before he starts slowing down. Because I think that his game is
peak Giannis.
Yes, because I think his game is predicated on flight and athleticism, and I think this calf injury is going to wane, and I think that not get worse as time goes on, but I do think that it's going to affect his game.
No, we're just going to move him to the Lakers, move LeBron to the Cavs.
Look, here we go. Here we go. No. You know it was coming, Neff. You knew it was because it's a Laker dude. So you knew it was coming, right? You knew it was coming, right? At some point, it was happening. You knew it was happening with this dude.
Well, come on, you got Luka as a gift, and you want Giannis now? Come on,
why not?
Come on,
we need to transition out of the LeBron James.
This is who he is. Like we had James, we had Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, we had Brian and Gasol, and we had Shaq, and we had Jabbar, and we had Magic,
one after
James
another
Worthy,
too.
And we had Jerry West.
Continuous.
As soon as he's spoiled, I'm not to say spoiled, rotten Laker fan.
If he's not coming to Toronto, so us 2 Greek boys can hang out, I hope he stays in Milwaukee. How about that?
Fair saying that tongue in cheek, Neff. He doesn't believe.
No. I actually do hope. I actually want him to finish his career in Milwaukee. I actually hope that he wins another title in Milwaukee.
I would love to see him stay in Milwaukee.
I like players.
I can promise you,
careers in one place. I actually do like that.
I can promise you, Neff. The minute you find out that Giannis has been traded to the Lakers, watch what I hear from this one over here.
I'll have a Giannis jersey.
Exactly. Watch what's going to happen with this one over here.
1,000%.
If we don't get 8 first-round picks from that trade, I'm pissed.
We want your whole future, all of it. We don't want some of your future, all of it.
Everything.
Give me everything.
I would listen. I'm saying
knobs on the bathroom door. I want the bathroom mirror. Give me everything.
I would be happy if he retired to Milwaukee, but I'm not saying no if he comes to LA.
Of course you're not. Absolutely you're not. Good to talk to you.
Honestly, I think Luka and Giannis would be deadly together, though. That would be it would be really, really fun basketball to watch.
As long as you put a perimeter defender, like when I mean perimeter defender, I'm talking like
like Herb Jones. How about him?
Herb Jones, Jaden McDaniels. Someone like that.
What's the guy? Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
Yes, somebody that's just like, as long as you have that, because then you'll have, because Giannis works best when he has a perimeter defender and him. I'm in. Good. Yeah,
that's why Drew and him worked so well.
Yeah, exactly. We
were just asking Drew to do too much offensively. I think if we could have got that Dame trade off with Chris Middleton instead of Drew, because that's what we first proposed. And that would work. That obviously would have worked.
Yeah, I think it would have been Andrew in the backcourt. That would have worked.
Yes,
that would have worked.
Exactly. I worked. Exactly. But then Portland were like, they're finessing. So
we're not just handing you over Dame. No, we're not doing that. No, I don't care. Absolutely not. Good to talk to you, Neff. We know where to find you at, brother. Absolutely, my man. No doubt.
Yep.
We're not just handing them over, Toad. No.
Yeah, never.
Absolutely.
We're gonna end off with our boy John.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What up?
Hey, could you guys settle a conversation I'm having here with a buddy of mine? Me and him are arguing about, I think that the Euros, like players that like come into the NBA from like the Euros and stuff, I think they come into the NBA as more complete basketball players. He doesn't think so. He thinks that this is just like these are just anomalies, like Luka, Sabonis, like all these guys are just anomalies.
Tone?
I think that it's a kind of double-edged sword. So I think they come in more ready to play against grown men because they play against grown men from younger ages, like the ones that do come that make it. Like Dončić is a great example. He at 15, 16 years old, he was playing against 25, 27, 28, 30-year-old men. So he came in ready for the physicality. Even whatever people tell you it's not physical, it is. It's not clothesline, no flagrant foul physical, but it is physical.
Correct.
And that is the toughest part for a younger player. It's not the fundamentals that they lack, which they do. It's not the speed of the game, which is faster. It's actually the physicality. And if you haven't experienced it before, it'd be like if you're just like a recreational basketball player, right? And you go to like LA Fitness or you come to my men's league and like the first time like a 45-year-old like dad hits you, like drops his shoulder into you and turns on you and you're like, what the hell just hit me? A Mack truck? That's that's the experience that the NBA guys get when they come in. Yeah. Right. Like I remember, I forget who was telling the story. I think it was like CJ Watson or it was CJ Watson. I think he was talking to not Gilbert Arenas, another guard, another young guard. But anyways, they're talking about their first time playing against John Stockton, and they're like, "Oh, who's this little skinny white boy?" Right? And he's like, and then he turned on me. It's like bang, and I was like, "What the hell did he just hit me with?"
Baron Davis said.
And was it Baron Davis? Thank you.
Baron Davis said, "Am I sorry?"
That's. I think that's where the European guys are coming in, and they're starting off at an advantage.
Yeah.
And then the U.S. players need to kind of catch up to it because you're not having that in AAU. You're not having that physicality in NCAA. It's not there because you're going up against guys that are within 2-3 years of you. You're not going up against grown men. And until younger people won't understand this, when you hit a certain age, it is a real thing. I tell everybody, my dad is I'm 6'3", 270 pounds. Now I wasn't always 270 pounds, but my dad is 5'5", $120 soaking wet. And I remember upsetting him one day, and he grabbed me and like lifted me up off the ground. I'm like, how the hell is this little man lifting me up? This man's strength is real. This dad's strength is real.
Yes, it is.
100%.
100%.
Well, what I was trying to say was more like their skill sets are a lot more developed because like these guys are coming into the league and there's not a single thing they can't do. They can rebound, they can shoot, they can pass, they can score, they can defend. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like when I see like top tier Americans, like they're missing like core fundamental skills.
I do think that those guys come in a little bit more polished. For example, Luka came in a little bit more polished than Jason Tatum. I think Sabonis.
I think it's the way that they play. Like in Europe, it is more passing shooting league, and here it's more on that athleticism, driving, getting to the basket.
Yes, I do think that they're a little bit more polished coming into the game. It's just a matter of the European staying that way. And I mean, let's be clear about one thing. Whenever you talk to your buddies about the Euros and the Americans, like after the top four guys, like who's the fifth best European player?
So what do we have? We got Jokic, Luka, Sabonis.
Sengun.
If we're going to
Sengun or the kid from Orlando, Franz Wagner. Now,
I will say
the fifth best Euro
American,
the fifth best Euro.
But hold on, just let's be clear, because you're asking about him saying, I guess the person you're having the conversation with saying that it's an exception. It's not an exception so much as it's a numbers game. If you look at the number of U.S. born players playing basketball and Euros playing basketball, the numbers are significantly higher. So it seems like there's not a lot of them because, well, it's based on the percentage of how many are playing. So yeah, they're a little bit more polished skill wise. They're a little bit more physical, ready to play. But after like we had this conversation last week, that's why it's kind of fresh in our mind. After those first five kind of European guys, it's all American guys. Like until you get to like,
I mean, most of the top five is in the NBA right now is like composed of Euros right now.
Right, but what happens right after that? After you finish with Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Wemby. Where's
That's like
where
4 players.
There's a
right?
huge
Where do
drop off after that.
where do the rest of them fall in?
Yeah, there's a huge drop off after that.
Sabonis
Huge.
is not a top 10 player.
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying.
Sengun.
I know, like there's a massive It seems that on the top end, like a top end Euro. So would it be crazy for me to say then like a top end Euro is better than like a top end American then?
Right now that would be true, but I don't know that that's all. Right now that's true, but not all.
Right now, at least.
But I think the difference is that a top end Euro. How many top end Euros are better than top end Americans?
Yeah,
because we got a bunch of top end Americans.
We do. Like if you expanded more
15,
to 10 players,
take the top 15 Euros and the top 15 US. Your 15 US players are going to clear.
100%.
The top 5 versus top 5. Yeah, you're having a conversation. You go 15 deep. They're not 15 deep.
I think after 4, it gets real tricky. Real tricky.
Here's how I explain it to people when people say, the rest of the world, not even just Euros, the rest of the world is catching up to the US. And I always tell them, give me one country that has 3 players that can make Team USA. So more than 2 players. Give me one country that can have 3 players make Team USA, and there isn't one.
Well, think about France, Tom.
One country, it might. Yeah, well,
okay.
Might be France.
Think about France. You think Rudy, Wemby, and let's see, the kid that played for the Clippers. This is the 3rd best player. You think those 3 guys can make Team USA?
The fact that you can't even remember.
Wait, isn't Joel Embiid French?
No. He's not.
Technically speaking,
no.
He was born in Nigeria?
You think? And we're in the semi.
I mean, hey, if we are talking USA team, right? I mean, Joel Embiid already made it anyway, so
we're talking the semifinals. Outside of Joker, who else on that Serbian team can make Team USA?
No one.
Right. So we're talking about that German team.
How about Greece?
Outside of
Giannis.
Right, outside of Giannis, or that German team with Dennis Schroeder. I mean, like you like Theis on Team USA? You feeling Franz Wagner on Team USA? Who's he beating out? Nobody. That's what I'm saying. Like Tristan da Silva. And I like
even do you think if we were to take the 4 out of the top 5 Euros right now who are at their best right now, and we move them back like a decade ago, are we still saying they're top 5? Like 2010s. Jokic, Giannis, Wemby, Luka. Are these guys still top 5? And now we're talking like peak James here, chill.
In 2010, so the 5 best players are, let's see,
Bryant, James,
KD, Dirk, Wade.
Is Duncan still top 5?
No, not at that point. Not at that point. But
Howard, no.
But that's what I was thinking. Howard, Wade or Howard, whichever one you want, because I think Howard is right. If he's not top 5, he's right outside the top 5. I think Duncan is outside the top 5. I think he's still top 10. I think that there's a few. I think Giannis. I think we can have a conversation about him
Jokic, and Wemby are probably top 5.
Yes.
The only guys better would be like James and KD, right?
I definitely think we can have a conversation about Luka being the top 5 player. Yeah, I do. So, John, I'm going to talk to you, brother. You know where to find us.
Hope you guys have a good one. I appreciate it, guys.
No doubt. I mean, Tony, I think that stance of if you take the rest of the teams throughout the course of the world and you put those teams, their talent, up against Team USA, how many of you dudes on this crew, we're taking all biases off the table, we're taking all the nonsense off the table, how many of you dudes can beat out one of these guys off this crew?
And let's be clear, we're talking about if you're making a team based on the top 10, 15 players, not just like I'm trying to fit in these.
No. We're bringing in 35 guys into camp.
Right.
Of these 35 guys, you're one of these guys. Can you make the cut?
Yeah, and that's why I say it's just like if you look at it from a international perspective, there's no country that even comes close. Like that's why I say like more than 2, because there's some teams, Gobert and Wemby could make it. Canada, SGA.
That's it. Jamal Murray's not making Team USA. Nope.
Let's say maybe, but even then, it's 2 maybe. There isn't that 3rd. So if my roster contains,
Dylan Brooks is not making Team USA.
My roster contains, 12, 13 guys, whatever, and your team only has 2 guys that could crack my lineup, then I'm still the superior country. And so then I look at it from an NBA perspective, and that's why I say, yeah, if you look at the top 5, it's heavily non-US. But go top 10, go top 15, go top 20, go top 25, go top 30, and all of a sudden, when you look at the percentage of non-American players, it starts to get really, really small.
Really tricky.
And that's the thing. We're not playing tennis. Like if we were playing tennis and it's one-on-one, and then you'd be saying, wow, the Europeans are dominating the sport. But you got to get 5 guys on each team playing at each time, but you need a roster of 12, 15, whatever. That's when it's like, okay, it's still not close.
Sure. Absolutely.
Fantastic that it's gotten better.
Yes.
I love it.
Competition has definitely gotten better.
100%.
But no, y'all ain't there yet.
It's not there. It's
not there yet. So,
whew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yo, you guys, y'all know where to find us at. Me and my man Tony Tone. That is Fluent over there. Chill. That's me. We do this every Tuesday and Wednesday night, 8:30, right here on the Sports Fluent and Chill Town Hoops Network, right here on YouTube. You know where to find us. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We'll talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was dope.
Spice Girls. Stop suing the Spice Girl.
Thanks for watching Fluent and Chill. Don't forget to like and subscribe every Tuesday at 8 p.m.